Hi, and welcome to 22 Stitches. I'm Kelsey, and I finally decided to join the Flosstube community, so this will be my first upload, and I'm extremely excited about this experience. First off, I would like to say my quality is not going to be very good for the first couple of videos. However, it will increase. I apologize for the reflection in my glasses. I'm kind of blind, and the way I have lights set up in my red room reflects through my glasses, and that will change, but as of right now, I have a red room and it's hard to light. So a little bit about myself. I actually was taught cross-stitching by my mother and my grandmother. It's been a pastime of both of them. My grandma still regularly cross-stitches, my mother, however, does not. My first piece I created back in '06. My mom helped me, and it was just one of those little kits that you can buy that start you off. Mom, the amazing woman she is, has had this on the fridge for the last 11 years, so I was really excited to be able to show this, and I know that's kind of lame, but I was super excited. She claims that I did most of this, and she only helped with one part, but who knows. You can definitely see it's the first stitch, like you can see the quality is not the best. I picked back up cross-stitching about 2 years ago when I was 20. I decided just to pick up a kit and start going with it because I needed a hobby that was something I enjoyed, and I remember fondly cross-stitching. So I started off with a couple kits, like probably a couple more of those little tiny kits that I started off when I was younger. And then I decided to start doing things I actually liked, because cross-stitching for me, cross-stitching like patterns that I just don't really have any passion for, doesn't get me very far. I just get bored with it, and it's not very exciting, so I went ahead and started cross-stitching things that I liked. And I started giving gifts of cross-stitch, which is kind of silly to some people, but to me, it's a lot of time and effort that goes into a cross-stitch, so it's a part of me that I'm giving them. The first couple I'm going to show you are all in frames. I did not take them out of the frames because they were gifts given to somebody, and I just acquired them back for this video. So I didn't feel comfortable taking them out of the frames and then having to go through the hassle, so I apologize for the glare again. So the first one I did was for my youngest sister. She's 13 now. I did this for, I think, her birthday. And our whole family is super into Star Wars, so I found a pattern online, like, I don't know where it was, or even if it was just in Google Images, honestly, and it was an Ewok, and I fell in love. So this actually was my gift to my younger sister. This was done on a tan Ada cloth, this beautiful gold coming through it, and this is an Ewok from Star Wars. He's a little cute little guy, and then underneath it says Tink Wicket. I call my younger sister Tink, and Wicket is an actual Ewok name. And then we just have some grass that I hand stitched in there with a couple different thread colors to give it some more dimension, and then some buttonhole little flowers. One thing I do not claim to know how to do is finish, so that's why my pieces do not look properly finished, because they are not, to be honest with you. That's one of the things that I really want to learn within the next year, is how to properly finish my cross stitches so I can properly preserve them. That's definitely a goal of 2017 for me. Next piece that I did was for my middle-aged sister. She is really into like the dark and mysterious things. So again, I just did a Google search and I found this pattern that was right up her alley. So it's not, I don't know the link to it, but it's super adorable. And I just did this on a white Ada cloth. And this is 2 vampires in front of a iron gate, and then there's some bats, and then the moon. And again, you can see I don't know how to finish, but this was totally up her alley, and I think it turned out super adorable and cute. Next, I'm going to show you a couple of my whips. The first one I have been working on since before Christmas, a couple weeks. I had plans to get it done by Christmas, and then my Christmas with the family got moved to the next weekend, but I don't think it's going to get finished even by then. So this was just a pattern that my mother had found and I thought was adorable, so I figured why not pick it up and give it as a gift. So this is by Designs by the Needle, and it's just these two little snowmen with this heart. It's super adorable, cute and whimsical, and I just loved the shading and the texture to it. So I started cross-stitching this, but I decided that I didn't really want the colors to be the same because the colors did not fit the people that I was planning on giving it to. So far, this is what I have finished. This is the female in the picture. I changed her colors out to these purples and this beautiful, beautiful thread. I don't know if you can see that. It's a hand-dyed thread from this old store I used to live near that was called Covered Wagon, and they just had walls and walls of these hand-dyed threads that were just completely beautiful, and I've never worked with them before. This was the first piece that I actually committed to using them on, but I think it turned out pretty cute. Next work in progress I stumbled across by another Flosstuber. She was talking about it as she was working on one of hers, and I saw her work on it and I fell in love with the idea. So as I mentioned before, Star Wars is something super big in my family. So when this YouTuber, which I can't remember her name now, but I will link her below because I will find her video so you can watch it because she would do this way more justice than I. So I went out and bought the patterns from Stitchline on Etsy, and this is the pattern. Well, this is page 1 of 4. This is what I have finished so far. And this is only, like I said, 1 of 4. This is a sugar skull of Darth Vader. And then it also came with a C-3PO sugar skull and a Stormtrooper sugar skull, which I'm super excited because I'm going to frame them. And I have a lot of Star Wars decorations already, so it's just going to be, like, perfect. This is, however, the biggest piece that I have ever tried to tackle, so it's a little daunting, and I've already had a couple mess ups, but I'm very excited to continue with my work and see how it turns out, really. So this is what I have done so far. This is, like I said, this first column on my stitching pattern, and I do have a couple mess ups down here which I need to take out and fix. Like this line needs to come over a little bit and this needs to come out a little bit. I'm not quite sure how I've made those mistakes, probably just cross-stitching way too late and my eyes were way too cross-eyed to completely count things. But so far it's coming all along, like you can sort of start to see like the detail, and normally I do small projects, so this was a little daunting to me, but I decided to actually do it the way I was originally taught, which is the 10 blocks at a time. So that is what I'm doing. And this here is the needle minder I have on this piece. This is just a button I got from Hobby Lobby and created into a needle minder. And although I have a needle minder here, my needle is not on it because for some reason, even though I started using needle minders, I can't get in the habit of actually using them. Instead, I am horrible and poke it through my fabric. So those are just a few pieces to show you kind of my style, and I really hope that you enjoyed this video and that you continue to watch as I upload. I'm very excited to join this community, and I'm very grateful that I have the tools to be able to do so. I have a lot of stitchy friends, so it's very exciting for me to finally get to branch out and meet new people and people who love the hobby that I absolutely love. And thank you for watching. Happy stitching!